Welcome students. In today's video session, we will discuss about some other cell organs. In last class, we have studied about mitochondria, plastids and lysosomes. Today, we are going to study about some other cell organelles like endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, vacuoles and ribosomes. So, let's start the session with endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is a network of tubular structure present inside the cell. It consists of a complex membranous system in the cytoplasm of the cell. Endoplasmic reticulum is found in eukaryotic cells. It is absent in prokaryotic cells and RBCs of mammals. Means except mammalian RBC, all eukaryotic cells contains endoplasmic reticulum. Mammalian RBC and prokaryotic cells lack endoplasmic reticulum. It extends throughout the cytoplasm and is generally continuous either with the nuclear membrane or with the cell membrane or sometimes with both. This is the structure of endoplasmic reticulum. It is a dense membranous tubular structure present inside the cytoplasm. Types of endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum is divided into two broad types. RER, that stands for rough endoplasmic reticulum, and SER, that stands for smooth endoplasmic reticulum. RER is also called granular endoplasmic reticulum and it is studded with ribosomes on it. You can see over here I have drawn with red spots. Ribosomes are present on the surface of endoplasmic reticulum, giving it a granular appearance, and that's why it is called RER, that is rough endoplasmic reticulum. The SER, on the other hand, is smooth in appearance as it lacks ribosomes, and hence it is called SER or smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So basically there are two types of endoplasmic reticulum: RER, that is rough endoplasmic reticulum, which is having ribosomes attached on its surface, and SER, that is smooth endoplasmic reticulum, which lacks ribosome and hence the surface appears smooth. Now let's discuss the functions of endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum performs various functions. Some functions are common and some are specific. Like the first function of endoplasmic reticulum, it provides mechanical support to the cell. It gives a skeletal framework to the cell as it is present in between the cell membrane and nuclear membrane. So it gives a framework, a skeletal framework to the cell and provides mechanical support. Endoplasmic reticulum is also responsible for exchange of molecules during osmosis, diffusion, etc. Endoplasmic reticulum is involved in various enzyme activities. ER contains various enzymes which performs different metabolic functions and activity. So we can say that it is responsible for enzyme activity inside the cell also. The next function of endoplasmic reticulum, that it performs intracellular transport. It is responsible for movement of substances within a cell from one place to another. Since it is forming a channel-like, tunnel-like structure, it is helpful in exchange or transport of substance from one part of the cell to the other part. So it is responsible for intracellular transport. The other function of endoplasmic reticulum is protein synthesis. As we have seen, RER provides the site to ribosome, and ribosomes are basically responsible for protein synthesis. So in that way, the endoplasmic reticulum helps in formation of protein. Endoplasmic reticulum is also responsible for lipid synthesis. ACR have a special feature of lipid synthesis. So, if we combine RER and SER together, the protein and lipid formation is the very important function carried out by endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is again responsible for formation of membranes. As we know, cell membrane, nuclear membrane and different other membranes have lipid and protein as their components, and this lipid and protein is being prepared inside the endoplasmic reticulum. So by that way it helps in formation of various membranes inside the cell. The ER of liver cells of mammals perform a very important function of detoxification. It is generally carried out by smooth endoplasmic reticulum present in liver cells of mammals, which detoxify the harmful substances which happens to enter inside the cell. So following are important functions of endoplasmic reticulum. Let's recall it once. It provides mechanical support, it helps in exchange of molecules, it is responsible for enzyme activity, it helps in intracellular transport, it helps in protein synthesis, it helps in lipid synthesis, it is responsible for formation of membranes, and it is involved in detoxification. The next cell organelle that we are going to study today is Golgi complex. It is also called Golgi body or Golgi apparatus. It is called so because it is made up of different components which are placed together. So that's why, since it is a composition of various components, it is called Golgi body, complex or apparatus. Golgi body was first discovered by Camillo Golgi, and he got Nobel Prize in 1906. Golgi bodies are in plant cells called dictyosomes. In plant cells, Golgi bodies are generally called as known as dictyosomes. Golgi bodies consist of flattened disc-like cisternae, vesicles, circular vesicles and tube-shaped tubules. Cisternae, vesicles and tubules are arranged in such a manner it forms a structure called Golgi complex. Golgi complex is found in all eukaryotic cells except RBCs. Same like endoplasmic reticulum, these are absent in prokaryotic cells as well as RBC cells. The Golgi complex performs various functions. It is generally found near the endoplasmic reticulum and it stores the substances, the enzymes, etc. produced by endoplasmic reticulum. So the main function of Golgi complex is storage and secretion. Other functions of Golgi complex are, the very first is secretion. The protein synthesized in endoplasmic reticulum are just stored in Golgi complex, and lipid is stored in Golgi complex, polysaccharides, everything prepared inside endoplasmic reticulum is stored inside the Golgi complex, and whenever and wherever it is required, it is released from Golgi complex. So the most important or the basic function of Golgi complex we can say is secretion. The other function, the next function of Golgi complex is storage, modification and packaging of proteins formed obviously in endoplasmic reticulum. It stores, when the secretion is not required, the substances are not needed to be released, it is stored inside the Golgi complex and there it is modified according to need and it is packaged. So it helps in storage, modification and packaging of substances also. Golgi complex is responsible for membrane formation. It plays an important role in formation of plasma membrane. The next function of Golgi complex, it helps in cell wall formation. It helps in cell wall formation in plant cells by helping during formation of cell plate. So Golgi complex is also involved in cell wall formation and it is responsible for lysosome formation also. We have studied about lysosome in the previous video. So the lysosomes are contained in a cisternae of Golgi complex and the enzyme is fed inside that. So with the help of Golgi complex and endoplasmic reticulum, lysosomes are formed. So following are the functions of Golgi complex: secretion of substances produced by endoplasmic reticulum, storage, modification and packaging of substances produced by endoplasmic reticulum, cell membrane formation, cell wall formation in plant cells and lysosome formation. So this is about Golgi complex. The next cell organelle that we are going to study is ribosomes. Ribosomes are the smallest cell organelle present in the cell. Ribosomes are found in all types of cells, whether it is a prokaryotic cell, a eukaryotic cell, a plant cell or animal cell. It is found in all the cells. In prokaryotes, they are found in the cytoplasm in free form, whereas in eukaryotes, it is generally associated with the rough endoplasmic reticulum. These are present on the surface of rough endoplasmic reticulum. However, it also occurs inside mitochondria, chloroplast and nucleus. That's why ribosomes are also called organelles within an organelle, since it is present inside mitochondria, chloroplast and nucleus, it is called so. But in general, it is present on the surface of rough endoplasmic reticulum. Ribosomes are not bounded by membranes. They are just present inside some cell organelles, in cytoplasm and on rough endoplasmic reticulum. The ribosomes are responsible for protein synthesis. These have a primary function of protein synthesis and that's why these are called protein factories of the cell. Since these are present on the surface of RER, they produce protein which pass through special channels inside the endoplasmic membrane and from there it goes and gets stored in Golgi complex. The next cell organelle is vacuole. Vacuoles are storage bubbles found in cell. Generally, vacuoles are present in plant cell. There, as much as 90% of the volume of plant cell may be occupied by a single vacuole. So, in a plant cell, a single very large sized vacuole is present which may occupy 70 to 90% of the total cell space. Vacuoles are generally absent in animal cell. If present, they are smaller in size and many in number. Unlike in plant cells where they are large and single, if animal cells contain vacuoles, they are very small and numerous. Vacuoles might store food or any variety of nutrient a cell might need to survive. The basic function is of vacuole that it is responsible for storage of variety of substance. These substance may be variety of nutrients. They even can store waste product so that the rest of the cell is protected from contamination. Eventually, these waste products would be sent out of the cell. They serve as a temporary storehouse for cell solutes, macromolecules, ions, sugars, amino acid, proteins and carbohydrates. So it serves as the function of storage of various substances inside the cell. A vacuole is surrounded by a permeable membrane which is called tonoplast. The membrane present on the vacuole is called tonoplast, and it is differentially permeable. It allows some substance to pass through it, and that's why it performs the function of storage of substances. Some substances are useful like macromolecules, amino acids, various nutrients, sugar, proteins, carbohydrate, etc. Whereas some substances are harmful, or you can say useless waste products which are stored over there, and eventually those substances are released out of the cell. We all are aware that even the largest organism start their development or start their life from a single cell. You may be surprised to think how a single cell can give rise to a number of, sometimes millions of cells. Growth and reproduction is the basic characteristic of the cell. Cells divide rapidly and repeatedly to develop new cells. New cells arise from pre-existing cell, and the development or rise of a new cell from the old cell is due to the concept of cell division. Now we will discuss about cell division in brief. Cell division can be defined as the process of production of new cells. Each cell divides and develops a new cell. These new cells are termed as daughter cells, which grow, and again after getting certain maturity they divide and again give rise to new cells, and in this way the life, or you can say the cell division, continues. The cell division is very important for growth of the species and for continuation of life. Cell division, depending upon the type of the cell where it is going to be divided, cell division is of two types. The first one is mitosis and second one is meiosis. Mitosis is called equational cell division as it produces daughter cells with the similar number of chromosomes. So in parent cell and daughter cell, the number of chromosome remains same. In mitosis, two daughter cells are produced. So after mitosis, a parent cell divides into two daughter cells. Keep in mind, both daughter cells are having similar number of chromosome as parents were having. Mitosis takes place in somatic cells, in the cells of the body which do not perform the function of reproduction. The cells other than reproducing cells, mitosis cell division takes place. Those cells are called somatic cells, like our skin, blood, bones, everywhere there is mitosis cell division where the number of chromosome is always same. The mitosis cell division is necessary for growth and development of the body. So, due to mitosis cell division, our skin, bone, blood grows in number. The cells of these places grow in number, and all the cells are having similar number of chromosomes as parent cells. The other cell division is called meiosis. This is called reductional cell division. Why it is called so? Because in this case, the number of chromosome becomes half of the parent. Suppose parental cell is having 4 chromosomes, then the daughter cell will be having 2 chromosomes. That's why it is called reductional cell division. Here, 4 daughter cells are produced. It takes place in germinal cells only, that is reproductive cells. It takes place only. The reproductive cells, the reproductive cells of organism show meiosis cell division. Like you have studied in plants, pollen grains, ovary, in human beings, sperm, ova, all these show meiosis cell division where the number of chromosome becomes half. It is important to maintain number of chromosomes in a species. Otherwise, what will happen without meiosis? The chromosomal number would double with each generation during sexual reproduction. As we know, in sexual reproduction, 2 cells, one coming from each of the parent, gets fused. If the number of chromosome will be similar as the parent, every time the number of chromosome in daughter cells would be double. So, to overcome this situation, there is meiosis cell division where parental cell is already having half number of chromosomes, and when they fuse together, the daughter cell produced again maintains the same number of chromosomes. So, it is the importance of meiosis. Now, let's have a quick comparison between mitosis and meiosis. Mitosis takes place mainly in somatic cells. It takes place mainly in reproductive or germ cells. Here, number of chromosome is similar as that of parent. Here, number of chromosome gets reduced to half. In this case, 2 daughter cells are produced. In this case, 4 daughter cells are produced. It is necessary for growth and development of the body, and it is important to maintain number of chromosome in a particular species. So, it is all about cell division and its type that you have to study. Students, this is your assignment time. Following are your assignment question. Watch the video carefully and write down the answers of these questions. You will get answers. First question is, list functions of Golgi body. You have to write down point-wise different functions of Golgi body. In second question, what are different types of ER? Explain. You have to name different types of endoplasmic reticulum and you will explain about the both. Why it is called so, what is its function, etc. Third question, why RER is called so? So first you will expand the term RER and then you will tell why it is called so. What is its speciality, that's why it is named as this. In fourth, you have to mention the functions of vacuoles. You will write it point-wise. And in fifth question, you have to differentiate between types of cell division. You have studied about different types of cell division. So, make a column and differentiate between all the types of cell division point-wise. Thank you.